Alright, welcome everybody, welcome back to Blaugrana Planet, welcome back to a new video, and today in this video we're gonna be looking at the options that Football Club Barcelona has for the new incorporations, because actually after the arrivals of players such as Vitor Roque, confirmed today, contract signed, Íñigo Martínez, very good signing in my opinion, and of course Gundogan, tremendous, just lifted the Champions League literally a few weeks ago. After these arrivals, Barcelona is looking at three options. Of course, a right back, I think is very well needed, a center mid in order to replace Busquets, and maybe another incorporation to the forward positions. Therefore, which are these players that Barcelona is looking at? Let's remind ourselves that we are very low in financial fair play to say that maybe we have none of the financial fair play. Of course, we need to work on departures, something that we will talk about on another day. So what are these options? Of course, these are market opportunities and players that already are fitted to the Barça squad. First of them is Oriole Romeo, of course, La Masia player, but of course he couldn't really play in Barcelona because Busquets was just over him. But he did get some minutes with Guardiola back in the day when he was a Barça player, but unfortunately he had to move. He went to the Premier League, Spanish La Liga. I think he had a good career and he knows the position very, very well. Right now he is playing in Girona, and they're talking about 8 to 10 million euro transfer. It could be quite interesting. I think this is Barca's first option to replace Sergio Busquets, at least for one season. Let's remind ourselves that Oriole Romeo is 31 years of age, therefore it's not a bet for the future, okay? Looking at other options, we have Gombuo. Careful here, market opportunity. His contract with Elche expired. He's 28 years old, and even though he's not to the level of Oriole Romeo, I would say, I think I think he could maybe fit there for a bit. He's a La Masia player, and it's a market opportunity, maybe not as a starter, but as a sub. Let's remind ourselves that Barcelona needs a rotation, and we need players to be rotating. What if, for example, Frenkie de Jong, that's going to be playing there, maybe gets injured? We need somebody that can play there, and Gombuo knows the position pretty well, and of course, it is a market opportunity. Let's remind ourselves. Another one, and pretty interesting, Dani Parejo. Careful here, guys. Dani Parejo is playing in Villarreal. He had an argument with Valencia. He went to play for Villarreal. Dani Parejo is 34 years old, but he's a player that Barcelona always wanted. In fact, many years we have been behind the player, and Dani Parejo could be an interesting option, but we need to negotiate with Villarreal. The player has a contract over there. But 34 years old, I think Villarreal is a colleague of a team. Maybe we can get him for cheap if Oriole Romeo or Gombuo don't go through. But of course, I'll get Dani Parejo over Gombuo any other day. Of course, the big option, the main guy, the chosen one, the selected by Xavi is Martín Zubimendi, but Real Sociedad is not willing to go lower than 60 million euros, something that Barcelona, of course, cannot pay, and Real Sociedad is literally asking for the clause, okay, for the release clause. Therefore, Barcelona would have to pay 60 million euros net directly into the bank account of Real Sociedad, something that we cannot do. We don't have the money, guys. Therefore, Martín Zubimendi, very hard, and also taking into account that we already bought Vitor Roque, even though we're going to be paying for Vitor Roque in installments. So another masterpiece from Mateu de Daddy, Laporta and the team. So this is the options, guys. These are the options for the Sergio Busquets replacements: Oriole Romeo, Gombuo, Dani Parejo, and Martín Zubimendi. Then moving on to the right back positions, we would have Iván Fresneda, 18 years old, playing for Valladolid. Valladolid went down to second division, but even though the second division is quite good, and I think maybe Fresneda will get very good minutes over there, probably as a starter. Iván Fresneda, a good talent. I think Barcelona is doing well to target the player, but if we need a player that's going to be a starter, because we cannot rely on Koundé only to play in that position. Of course, we do have Sergi Roberto, but Sergi Roberto is more of a joker, right? Of an ace behind the sleeves. It's not something that you're using as a main player. I think Iván Fresneda could be a sub, but not a starter, right? And right now, Barcelona have very little bullets. We don't have literally the money, and we do need big incorporations. We need great market opportunities, and Ivan Fresneda is not one. They're asking for 20 million euros around that number, and I think it's going to be tough to get the player to Football Club Barcelona just because of the price. Of course, the player wants to come, etc., etc. But even though Valladolid is going down to second division, 20 million euros right now for 18 years old, not gonna happen. Moving on to Joao Cancelo, real market opportunity, but guys, careful with this because Man City doesn't need money, and of course Bayern Munich is right now trying to get the hold of the player. Stick to Joao Cancelo. I think Joao Cancelo is the guy. If he manages to come, if we manage to bring Joao Cancelo, it would be amazing. But you know, right now Jorge Mendes, which is the agent of Cancelo, already trying to make some moves, but Man City is not saying anything, not wanting to move, even though Joao Cancelo doesn't want to return to Man City. What will happen? I don't know. I have a lot of doubts in the right back position. I want to see in the comments who would you choose apart from Fresneda to Joao Cancelo. There's no other rumors literally sticking out right now for Football Club Barcelona in terms of this position. Maybe they are chilling with Koundé and Sergi Roberto, but it's worrying me a little bit. What I'm certain of is that the defense is going to be a good defense this next season, because of course Íñigo Martínez is going to be adding up to all of these center backs that we have. But the right back position, I'm a little worried. And careful there on the left hand side, we only have Balde and Marcos Alonso. But moving on to the last player, guys, is Yannick Carrasco. In fact, something interesting that you might not know is that when Barcelona sold Depay, we already fixed a payment for Yannick Carrasco. Therefore, if we wanted to buy Yannick Carrasco now, the payment would be fixed at 19 million euros. Therefore, basically we got an agreement for a purchase option, right, for 19 million euros. Barcelona has discarded the 19 million euro purchase option because they think that Yannick Carrasco is not worth it right now. He's 29 years old, guys, and I think Abde would be a good replacement for the possible arrival of Yannick Carrasco. Gonna be earning less and gonna be costing way less, literally 0 euros. Abde, which by the way won the Copa Africa. Congrats to all the Moroccan, and of course Abde, who was there lifting the title, I think should get the chance this season to be a replacement there in the forward positions. Therefore, these are the players, guys, that right now Barca is looking at. Of course, we already made those 3 signings, and important, we need departures. We need a lot of departures. Lenglet, we need, for example, what's his name? I forgot. Alex Collado. We need Dest, we need other players maybe to make departures, and Barcelona will be working on them, maybe a big one, Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati, we will see. I want to hear you right now. Let me know in the comments which would be the player that you would want to Football Club Barcelona. Remember, we are broke and we need market opportunities. Therefore, let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to smash the likes, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video. Vamos!